The very name conjures up desert expanses incapable of supporting life. The people that can carve out a life there are thought of as being tough and stubborn, hard-headed and hot-blooded. So much so that native-born Israelis call themselves sabras, or prickly pears. Israel has earned, perhaps unfairly, a reputation as a land of eternal conflict, of religious extremes and unbudging orthodox beliefs. We set out to render Israel in 3 dimensions, in the way few outsiders ever see it. We wanted to go beyond the news coverage of black hats, stone walls, and soldiers, and give a new perspective on Israeli culture through the eyes of the LGBT community. Israel is one of the only countries in the Middle East where homosexuality is not illegal, and lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people aren't persecuted under the law. It has become an oasis for homosexuals from neighboring countries who emigrate to avoid social ostracism and possibly death. Israel has an extremely active gay community, and annual gay pride festivals have been held since 1988. Its gay pride parade is the largest in the Mediterranean basin.
During the last 15 years, a lot of progress has been done through the legal side in Israel. Laws have been changed and a lot of rules have been made in favor of the LGBT community. The law is actually better than the situation in the society. But we hope the society is changing as well as the law.
One area in which the LGBT community has been especially successful is the military, where gays and lesbians won the right to serve openly in 1993.
I was called into the army and got on the bus, and then the myth, that everything's going to be scary and everyone's going to hate you, and there's these really big butch guys walking around, and it all kind of faded away. Everyone over there was just like me. No one cared if I was gay or straight.
Israel's open, integrated, and efficient military has stood out as a damning indictment of policies such as Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and Israel's laws on employment discrimination surpassed the United States as well. For all the criticism Israel receives from outsiders, the rights it affords its LGBT community outweigh those of most of its vocal critics.
Of course, we always deal with issues of same-sex marriages. It still doesn't exist here, but we're trying to get as many rights as possible. Adoption rights that are very limited in Israel. We did have a lot of success in the last decade concerning workplace, rights in the workplace, and definitely very progressive army laws.
In Jerusalem, Israel's most conservative city, the gay community has managed to start a much smaller pride parade than their counterparts in Tel Aviv, a huge achievement on its own. Unfortunately, they've been met with resistance and occasionally violence by their neighbors.
During the regular parade in 2005, an ultra-Orthodox guy tried to stab some of the marchers, and he did stab 3 of them. That was really a point that we understood that things have been changed.
One of the places that works to help the LGBT population of Israel is the Jerusalem Open House.
It's easy for people to forget, amongst all what they see on CNN and read in the New York Times, that even these days there are gay teenagers growing up and they need their support group. They need this center.
I'm very, very lucky in that sense, because my family is super accepting and easy, and it was never a question. It was pretty late. I was 24 when I came out, not to them, to myself, when I first actually realized that this is what it's gonna be like. And had my first experience and stuff like that. I immediately told my family and they were like, oh, okay, cool. So it was, I know I'm lucky. I went through all the bad stuff with a lot of my friends, so I know what it looks like when it's not that easy.
Symbolic of the growing acceptance in all of Israel, Jerusalem's Pride Parade has continued to grow in numbers as well as in terms of acceptance by the local community. In 2009, the parade had over 3,000 marchers and only a handful of protesters.
Having the parade in Jerusalem is great, and a lot of people felt better than before and could come easily and openly to activities of gays.
Israeli gays and lesbians still face the daunting journey towards cultural acceptance, despite rights that are equal to or that even surpass those enjoyed by the American LGBT community. Israeli gays and lesbians still do not enjoy the same rights as their heterosexual counterparts. However, comparing Israel to its neighbors, one can clearly see Israel emerging as a gay oasis in the Middle East.
I love a boy named Jesse, but Jesse doesn't love me back. He says he has a girl in Chelsea.